Hey guys, welcome to Blazing Guitars, where we talk about worship gear, music, guitar, and everything in between. My name is Blaze Nelson, and today I wanted to show you how you can use the circle of fifths to find the notes and chords in any key. Before we jump into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, as always, please leave a comment below. And if you'd like to support what I'm doing at the channel, Patreon is linked in the description below. And if you're thinking, I don't want to give this guy any money, liking, subscribing, commenting, those are all great ways to support me. So if you can do that, that'd be awesome. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So first of all, I wanted to show you how to draw the circle of fifths. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a circle like that. And we are going to add clock numbers, right? So 12 lines. So I'm going to do 12, 3, and 9. And then I'm going to add 2 lines between each of these other ones. Okay, so that's our basic circle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start at 11 o'clock and start with F. And I always liked the acronym, fat cats go down alleys eating birds. And if you want to add bird garbage to that, that would get you all the way to 6 o'clock. So we're going to go fat cats go down alleys eating bird garbage. And this is actually going to be a G flat. And then on this other side, we're going to do bead all the way down starting from 10 o'clock. So it's going to be B, and then this whole left side is going to be flat. So B, E flat, A flat, D flat. Okay, so that's your circle of fifths. It's really simple to draw. Now, how to use it gets a little bit more complicated, but it's pretty straightforward too. So what we're going to do is we're going to split it right down the middle. So everything on this side, on the right side, is going to be sharps, and everything on this side, the left side, is going to be flats. So if you're taking, for example, let's start with C. So C has 0 sharps and 0 flats in it, the key of C. G has 1, D has 2. I think you can see where I'm going with this. A has 3, so you can do G has a sharp, D has 2 sharps, A has 3, E has 4, and then B has 5. Okay, so if you're like reading music and at the beginning of your staff towards the treble clef, normally, you can see there'll be a number of sharps. So if there's 4 sharps, you can easily see that that's in the key of E if you kind of have this memorized. Okay, and then on the left side, we deal with flats. So F has 1 flat, B flat has 2, 3, 4, 5, and then G flat has 6. Now, what I like to do when I'm teaching the circle of fifths is to draw a line right here between the 11 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And that's not an official line, but it kind of helps clarify some of the things as you're looking at this. So that's all well and good, but you can actually still use the circle of fifths to even determine what sharps they are in the key. So to understand this concept, you have to understand something called quality versus quantity. So with each key, we want to have the quantity of every note represented. So what I mean is, to find the notes in the key of G, for example, you want to have a G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Each of those notes are going to be represented either in a flat, a natural, or a sharp. G has 1 sharp, but we're still going to have all 7 notes represented there. And then the quality is whether or not it's sharp, natural, or flat. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. Okay, let's see how we functionally use this. So I have my written circle of fifths over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at a couple examples. So if we take G, for example, we're going to go G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so we have each quantity, we have the right quantity, right, but we don't have the right quality of notes for the key of G major. So we're gonna start at the line, and we're just going to count each note and add a sharp until we hit the number of sharps that are in the key. So for example, with G, we only have 1 sharp. So we're going to start at the line and count clockwise. So we're going to go F, right? And we're going to add a sharp to this F. and that's the key of G. Now let's look at another example. Let's take the key of E, for example. We're going to go E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Again, we have the right quantity. Now we have to get the right quality. So again, we're going to start at that line and we're going to start counting until we hit 4. So we're going to go F, C, G, and D. And those are the notes in the key of G. Okay, so you can see that really clearly. That's how this works. The left side of the circle is a little bit more complicated because what we're going to do is we're going to start at the line and then you're going to count the note name as it and then one above and go all the way back to the line. So for example, F, you're going to start at F, but F isn't a flat, right? So F is normal, so everything is natural, but you're going to go one ahead to your B. So you have B flat, okay? So these are the notes in the key of F. Let's take a look at A flat, for example. So we're going to get our quantity down, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay? And then we're going to, again, add 1. So we're going to add the D flat immediately, add itself, and then just start working our way back. So we're going to start with the B flat and then add the E flat, okay? So these are the notes that are in the key of A flat major, okay? So it's pretty straightforward. The other interesting piece is this G flat. Let's talk about G flat for a second. So we're going to, again, get our quantity. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We're going to add the note itself, 1 above, but the B isn't flat, 1 above. If you're going to keep the quantity thing going, it would actually be a C flat, which is the same as B natural. But there's no C flat on the piano. At least there's no key that's associated with C flat. We just have a B. So that would be incorrect, and you would just write this as a B. So again, you start at the line and go all the way back down. So we have B, E, A, D. Okay, so that's it. That's the circle of fifths. I also promised that you could find the chords in any given key using the circle of fifths. Unfortunately, that's really simple. Once you have the notes, you can use this formula. So your root, your 1 is always going to be major. Your second is always going to be minor. Your third is always going to be minor. Your fourth is always going to be major. Your fifth is always going to be major. Your sixth, again, is always going to be minor. And then your seventh is going to be diminished. Okay? So if we take C, for example, so we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, we would have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and B diminished. Or let's start with the key of A major, for example. So we're going to take our quantity, A, B, C, D. Sorry, my program's giving me a little bit of a hassle. E, F, G, and then we're going to find the sharps. So it has 3, so F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Okay? And again, using our formula, we would have an A major chord, a B minor, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, and G sharp diminished. And one last important note on this is when you're talking about keys, you never mix flats and sharps. They're always one or the other, and they're always dependent on what's happening in this circle. And the reason is, again, going back to the quantity, we want to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G all represented in the key. We don't want to have 2 B's, for example. We want each one represented, and we want the right quantity of notes. And then from there, it's just a matter of figuring out quality, and the way to make that work is by keeping either all sharps or all flats, and they follow that pretty strictly. So you would never have like an A sharp. You might for some circumstances, but for the most part, you would never have an A sharp. in most Western music, right? And according to music theory. Of course, there's always exceptions to that rule, but for the most part, you would just keep the keys that are represented here on the circle of fifths. So there you have it. I hope that was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I would be happy to help. I'm also going to be putting a cleaner version of this on my website, so if you'd like to go download a cheat sheet, you can do so from my website. Again, linked in the description below. And with that, I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.